Are we live? I don't know how this works, but I think we are. All right. I'm going to share the link to this, see if anyone joins. And then we will crack right on. Where is the link to this? Off to a good start. Can you tell that I've never done this before? We will edit this part out. We'll try to anyway. This is what happens when you try new things. It doesn't always work. Okay, cool. Let's get right into it. So what I'm talking about today, what I want to get into, is sort of structure. So a lot of people that I work with, a lot of coaches, their content plan is crazy, for lack of a better term, or it's random, it's unstructured. Their lead flow, how they're going to bring people in and turn them into clients, it's a bit spray and pray. There's no real plan, there's no real map for how it's going to work. And I figured instead of just going over how things work for other people, I would put together my own plan because it shifted a bit lately. And I really need to map it out and get it clear in my head. And hopefully this will make it clear for you as well as to how you can structure something. So the big thing we're looking at here is not just hope and pray and do everything all at once. It's putting together a real intentional plan, a real strategy of how you're going to get people's attention, and then how you're going to get them directed to something valuable, and then bring them through into your world and eventually turn them into a client. Maybe not eventually, maybe more quickly than that. But let's have a quick look at it. So we will do the transition button here. There we go. So I'm putting together a map on here. So this is Miro. It's the tool that I like to use for client journey mapping. So I'm going to take you through my client journey, exactly how everything works. And this YouTube Live is a piece of it. You're in the journey now, even if you don't realize it. And you can drop in or out at any point. Okay, so quick review of the stages. So I have them on a little post-it here. Let's just have a look at them. Here it is, a little post-it. Probably not really easy to see, but I'll talk through them. So there's different stages of the client journey. There's aware. So this is right at the beginning. They're very first time seeing your stuff. This might be where you are right now, where you're watching this for the first time and you've just become aware of me and who I am. Maybe you don't know much about me. My name's Nick, by the way, and I help online coaches with building out their lead flow, getting more clients, automating some stuff, but mostly with lead gen, so using AI to help with all of that. So aware, very first stage. Then after that, it's engage. So if you're on here right now, if you drop something in the chat, or if you say hello, or if you like, you've engaged. You're interacting with me in some sort of way. And then subscribe is the next step. So they give you some sort of information. They give you their details. They join your free school community. They sign up to your lead magnet. They message you and say, hey, here's my email. Add me to your email list. Convert is the next step. That's where they commit to something. Whether it's, they just commit their time, they buy something small. A lot of the time, it is just a commitment. They book a call. All of those count. Then excite is the step after that. And that's when they experience what you have to offer and they get value. And that can happen in like the smallest form. It is just as much as I gave you my email so that you would give me this free lead magnet and hey, I actually like it. And this is where people fall down a bit. They create a lead magnet and it's no good and people don't get excited and that's where they fall off. Now we're going to stop there, even though you can see there are other steps here of like ascension, becoming a paying client, all of that. We might get into that a bit later. But right now, I just want to focus on the start. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start mapping things out. And the whole goal of this is just to have a structured plan. You might be a coach right now and you're saying, I get referrals. People come through to me And sure, it's a bit haphazard, but I'm getting clients and it works. It's true, it does for some people, but there's no structure, there's no plan. And without the plan, you're always sort of at the mercy of the market. You're just sort of hoping and praying that people find you and they like you. So the whole point of this is to put something in place that's intentional. So here is what I'm doing. We're going to go to diagramming, and I'm just going to bring up some shapes here so we can put it together. And I'm just going to use the process squares the whole way through. Oh, that's teeny tiny. All right. I'm going to move it to the front here, and we're going to zoom right in so that we can see it. So here's what I am doing at the moment. So from the start, I'm trying to get people's attention. I'm trying to build awareness of me and who I am. So we're going to put this here, and we're just going to say, this is awareness. Awareness. And what am I doing here? So I'm going a bit crazy. What I'm doing to build as much awareness as possible is I'm creating reels or shorts, as you might know them. So on YouTube here, they're called shorts. So I'm publishing 3 of these every day, which is a lot. 1 a day is probably good, but I wanted to turbocharge things. So I'm doing reels and shorts, and these are scripted and targeted to my ideal client. So this is all about who is my ideal client, what do they want to hear about, what do they want to learn about. Part of that is learning about how to build a structure so that leads are more reliable. Part of it is more about the sales process. Part of it is more about who is my ideal client and what do they actually want? What should I be talking about in these things? But yeah, reels and shorts is the first step there. So that is just to get their attention. So we've got 3 of those every day going out. We also have some longer form YouTube content, which is what this is. Long form / lives. So this is also in that awareness stage of building things out, letting everybody see what I'm about and what's going on. Okay, so then that next step there is engage. All right. So to engage, there's not too much that's different here. These they overlap, because all of this really is people engaging with that content. So liking, commenting, subscribing, and then I guess the thing here that I would be doing is replying. Oh, that's not how you spell replying. Replying. Yeah, so like if anyone makes a comment on here, for example, as we are live, that would be something that I could reply to and say, hey, that's interesting. Here's how I can help with that. This is looking a bit wonky, so I'm just going to fix that up a bit, make it look nice. There we go. So replying, maybe even following up with a DM or something like that. But this is where, at this stage, you would be engaging with the human, with the prospect, the lead. At this point, they don't become a prospect till later. A lead is just someone who's put their hand up. A prospect is someone more qualified. So actually, yes, it does make sense to speak to them a bit further. Whereas millions of people, maybe not millions, it depends on your views, but they can just get into your world, and they might not be right for you. They might not be the ideal client. So that's sort of the difference there. So we engage with them, and then the next step is to subscribe. So for someone to subscribe, there's a couple of different steps here. There's a couple of different entry paths as far as my particular offer is concerned. So I have 2. Number 1 is what I call the Avatar GPT, and it's kind of a quiz. You fill in a form, you answer 7 quick questions, and it builds out an AI version of your ideal client that you can have conversations with. You can ask them about your content plan, what you're talking about. You can have conversations with them. You can actually run coaching sessions and sales role plays. I did that last night. It was very interesting. But yeah, this is the sort of the subscribe stage. So that's number 1, is that Avatar GPT. Number 2 is my coaching growth quiz. That's a 10-question quiz where you multiple choice answer the questions, and it will score you in 3 different areas. It's your messaging, your lead flow, and your conversion. So basically the 3 steps is, are you connecting with the right sort of people? Are you bringing them through a pipeline where you can get more information about them and they can learn more about you? And are you turning them into clients? So those are the two here. So we'll put those in. So we've got Avatar GPT, and we have the coaching growth quiz. Now you don't need two. Really, you only need one, but you can have multiple. Coaching is the word I'm looking for there. But yeah, the thing about these, why I've got two, it's a good question. So I originally started with the Avatar GPT, well, originally all the way back. Most recently, I had the Avatar GPT out in the world promoting that, and people liked it. But I sort of struggled to get a lot of information about people. People were just hitting it and then bouncing, or they weren't using it properly. So I built out my school community with a bit more information about it. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and get a bit more insight, something that really helps them. And that's where I put together the coaching growth quiz, because that has tailored responses based on what you're doing. So based on the situation that you're currently in, you're going to get one of 27 different possible outcomes. And that's where I can get really specific to you. This is why I love quizzes, by the way. I can get specific to your problem that you're having and help you figure that out. So yeah, I put that out there, the coaching growth quiz in the world, and I didn't get much traction with it because I think what it is, this is my hypothesis, is that the coaching growth quiz kind of feels like homework. It's more what people need than what they want. And if we want to bring people into our world, we have to give them what they want. So the way that this is working now is I'm not really sending so many people straight to here. It actually looks more like this, where this is sort of in the nurture phase. People come in through the Avatar GPT, they get that, they like it, they think, hey, this is really cool. I'm playing with AI, I'm learning about my ideal client. And then after that, you say, that's great, but what's actually wrong? What's the deeper level here? Where are you really struggling? Do you even need this Avatar GPT? I know it's cool and everything, but maybe your messaging is already spot on and you don't need help with this. So we move to the next stage there. Oh, it's Mike. Hey, Mike. Yeah, so we move to the next stage here, which is from the Avatar GPT, they go to the coaching growth quiz. But they don't go straight here. We've got some steps in between. So they subscribe and they get the Avatar GPT. That's when they fill in their details. Now there's also in between here, it gets a bit complicated. At any point they can join my free school community. This is housed internally and externally. You don't need to join to get it, but if you get it, you can join. So overly complicated there. We want to keep it simple. So what happens in between? We're going to forget about the school community for now. Let's just keep it clean. We're going to say externally. They get the Avatar GPT, they start to play around with it, and then they start receiving emails. So they start receiving emails from me, and this is sort of the excite stage. Well, no, actually. No, this is the, we're moving from subscribe to convert. So we've got an email sequence. And this is to teach them how to use the Avatar GPT, give them a couple of ideas how to get the most value out of it, but it's also to take them to the next stage, which is actually not the coaching growth quiz. The CTA that I'm using here, the call to action is, you're using this, cool, how about you book a call? Let's have a conversation, free, 30 minutes, no pitch necessarily, we'll just have a chat, see what's going on. And then from there, once they book a call, I encourage them to take the coaching growth quiz as a bit of a qualifier to see where the problem is. So before we ever get on the call, I don't need to spend the whole 30 minutes diagnosing you and figuring out what's wrong. What I'm going to do instead is just get on, before you join the call, let's just take this quiz and see if we can find out what is going on, where's the problem. Because once you take that quiz, I will know a bit more about you, you will know a bit more about yourself, and we can dive right into the problem. And if you don't have a problem, do we need to have a conversation? We can just have a chat, it's nice, but is it worth your time to talk to me if you don't need my help? So, the reason I like these methods particularly, so the quiz is a very cut and dry quiz. We'll have a look at it quickly. I'll run through it. We'll start the quiz. But yeah, you see it's 10 questions, and it is, let's just do a fake Ooh, maybe because I'm streaming, but you can see here when we start, oh, it doesn't like it. All right, we'll use my personal email address. All I want to show you here is that it is just multiple choice. So we can click through each one here and say, yes, this is my answer. This is exactly what I've been looking for. Does anyone actually say this? Not really. That's a sign that messaging is off. But they go through the quiz like this. Now, when they complete this quiz, I can see all their results. I can see all of their answers. So when we get to the point of booking a call, so we'll say book a call, even though the CTA happens here, it's gonna, because they can skip the quiz. But if they've completed the Avatar GPT and if they've completed the Coaching Growth Quiz, which one of those will have to be true before they book a call with me, because they can sort of jump to here. And I know this, we don't want this to look like a spider web, but maybe, there's the link in bio for my Coaching Growth Quiz. People might take that straight away and sort of bypass this. Either way, one of these has been completed and it's tailored value for them, which is great. That's fantastic. But for me, it's data, it's information. Before we get on a call with them, I will know something about them or about you if you decide to book a call. And they shouldn't be able to book a call. Maybe they can scroll the internet, try and find me and find my calendar. But ideally, they don't get access to this calendar until they've completed one of these steps. So even though it's a bit messy, it's a bit all over the place, all sorts of different things can happen. What we're trying to do here is build some sort of structure so that no one just randomly books in. We know a bit about them first. We're leading them down this path to make sure that they've received some value from us and that they're interested. Because it's a bit strange, but it does happen. I had someone the other day just book a call with me out of the blue, no idea who he was, but he booked in and we had a nice conversation, but he was not the right fit. He was talking about affiliate marketing, which isn't the type of people I work with. I work with coaches. So yeah, interesting. I was able to help him out a bit with some ideas about how he could use AI and automation, but it wasn't quite right. So from here, this is where we'll say, call this convert, because this is where they've provided, they're giving me their time, basically, in this step here. And that's a big step, is saying, you know what, yes, I will spend half an hour with you to see what I can figure out. From there, when they book a call, this is where we'd have the conversation, and it's kind of a sales call. It's more a diagnostic. It's a diagnostic sale than anything else. It's me talking to them, saying, based on this and this and this, I can see here's what the problem is, based on what you've said in the Avatar GPT and or what you said in the Coaching Growth Quiz and the conversation that we're having right now. It looks like you're struggling with your messaging, or it looks like you're struggling with the sales process or with conversion overall. So that is when I would be looking at making the offer, which is my high ticket done for you offer. It's $3,000 US, and that would be where I build out the entire thing. Really, it's building out the lead magnet, which would be a quiz. It's coming up with ideas for content and retargeting ads, bringing everybody through, really building out that traffic, and a whole workflow like this. Putting this together, saying how are we bringing them in, how are we making them aware, how are we engaging with them, how are we getting them to subscribe, how are we converting them to the point where they get on a call, and then how are we exciting them. And this, hopefully, is where we're exciting them, where when they get on the call, they receive value from the conversation that we have with them. And this is in the form of some, a little bit of coaching for coaches. For myself, it's more consulting, but giving them something valuable before we say, hey, do you want more of this? We don't just say, buy my thing. It's, this is what's going on. This is what I can see. Let's talk about taking the next step. Or how do we fix this? And then after that, if you like this fix, let's make more of them, because we can't do too much in half an hour. But if we work together, and you want me to build this all for you, I can definitely put something together. It's sort of how the conversation goes. So this is on the call. And then after that, if they don't necessarily want to pay me $3,000, which is fair, I have lower ticket offers there where I can say, you know what, That's fine. I don't need to do it all for you. You can do it yourself. Here's a bunch of information and some tools on how to do it. I can show you this whole thing. I just won't do it for you. Or, you know what? You jumped in right here. You haven't even done the avatar. Why don't you go all the way back here and give that a go, and we will see what happens with that. Because that might be really interesting for you. And then come back through this pipeline. We'll talk about it again when you're more ready to go. So that is what mine looks like. Excite, not exciting. And then from there, we start to ascend. So we're not going to go into too much more detail right now, but this would be the done for you offer. And then we have the downsell into the membership. Now that is pretty much my entire workflow at the moment. That is how it's all working. Something that I missed, which is sort of the difference between, or the step between awareness and engaging, is I don't just do organic content. I do have as well some retargeting ads. So we've got meta ads. Now, the way that retargeting works, we'll call them warm meta ads, is I'm not showing ads to a cold audience. It's just to everyone who is engaged in some way, either in my content, in my content on Meta, or they've had a look at my Skool community. So if you go to my free Skool community, to the page there, and don't join, just look at the page, chances are, if you're on Facebook or Instagram in the next couple of days, you'll see an ad from me saying either check out the Avatar GPT or check out the Coaching Growth Quiz, and even check out the paid community. So what that does, that allows me to be really value heavy in my reels and in my long form content. I know I've mentioned a lot of the offers today of like what I have, what I do, but I've not mentioned them to sell them. It's more telling you what is the process than saying, hey, actually, you know what, you should buy my thing. No, that's, I'm kind of, it's weird because I kind of am saying it, but I'm not. It's more telling you what is out there. So for you, let's have a look at this from your perspective, what you're doing. So let's say that you're a mindset coach, yeah? So you're making reels about mindset, or you're posting, maybe doing videos as well. It's all about how to really fix your confidence and how to get structured, manifest what you want, that sort of thing. And then you have, when someone replies, you have a little worksheet to give them, a little checklist that they can use every day, saying, am I in the right frame of mind? Am I going over my affirmations? Something really easy there. So that's what this is. That's your first lead magnet, your very simple entry point that doesn't take a lot of work, super easy. And then after they download that, you send them some emails and say, hey, here's what I've got going on. This is who I am. That's a key part here, is them getting to know you, and they can do that through the reels and through the long form and in the emails, because it's all about building trust. That's, in the coaching world, it's so critical to have that trust, to have people believe that you know what you're talking about. And that's kind of the point of this live as well. But yeah, we're building trust here as well as back here. And then we get to, let's say, something else free that you can give them. Now, maybe it's not a quiz. Maybe it's a workshop. Maybe it's something else like that. Maybe it's another PDF. I do recommend something a bit more interactive once they've taken the first step, even though with mine, they're all interactive. But yeah, something a bit more interactive there that they can, work with you a bit, see a bit more about you, and then you can learn about them as well. And then, so this is, let's call it a mindset quiz. Why not? It's what's actually holding you back from getting what you want in the world. And you can go through a couple of different things and figure out, if it's, emotional issues, if it's something in their head, it's a specific belief. What's the specific belief that's holding you back? And maybe, put that in 3 buckets. Maybe it's not super specific. And then from there, once they've done that, you would say, hey, let's have a clarity session. We will talk about this and we'll try and break that one specific belief that we sort of diagnosed in the quiz. And then from there, that's when, on that call, when you help them with that and you actually get them to the point where they are feeling better, like they've gotten some value, that's when you can say to them, well, it's all good that you're feeling great now. Love it. Very happy for you. But we all know that, it's not going to stay like this. We've fixed it right now and you feel great, but what about tomorrow? What about next week? Maybe we should, start working together. So once a week, we can get on a call and try and reset this, really make it stick, because consistency and accountability is kind of the key. And that's where you'd be pitching your offer. So yeah, that is pretty much it. That's how the structure would work. But yeah, these ads kind of move people into the Avatar GPT. So that's what they're for. And into the coaching growth quiz, and even into the offer. These are different ads at different stages, so I wouldn't necessarily be targeting someone with these ads until they've completed one of these, the ads for the paid community. All right, well, that is it for now. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to head off. I'm going to try and implement this because there's a lot of building that needs to be done to make this happen, like actually writing the emails, making sure that they work in the correct order, setting up the calendar, actually building out the offer. So thank you very much for everyone that was here. I will catch you soon.